So when we were there, but so I was exposed to LifeVantage almost 5 years ago. Actually, when I was working with a little boy with autism, they diagnosed at 2. I was introduced to it by his mom. I worked with him every week for a year. Now, she referred to me by a doctor that I had trained that lived in Iowa. And so because of what she knew, she said, hey, you know what, Dr. Brimhall might be able to help your son some more. So I literally started working with him. I worked with him every week for a year. And on top of it, he's doing 35 hours of therapy a week. So imagine that child's life. That's all he knew was therapy. And so I did everything we could to help him for that whole year. So every week he'd come in, he'd spend about an hour or so with me. And then he was doing 35 hours of therapy on top of that. When his mom started giving him Axio 11 days into that, he had a 50% improvement in his behavior and learning. And so that opened me up to the concept that obviously something was very different about these products. I found myself on an airplane ride to Sioux Falls, South Dakota in October 5 years ago to meet the scientists that developed the product, to really try to get a grasp of what I saw. Because I was about to embark on this journey of basically recommending a product that my dad and I didn't create. My dad created over 200 different nutritional supplements, but I had never seen a turnaround in somebody like Luke ever. And so when I met the scientist, he said something in my head. So people are tired because they're mentally tired, not because they're physically tired. Rings so true in my mind, because I've been treating fatigue from a body perspective, not a brain perspective, and that's literally what Axio did. It addressed the brain fatigue. So in this little boy, that brain fatigue looked like he struggled with learning, he struggled with behavior, he struggled socially, and he struggled remembering things. Well, now, 5 years later, he's in a normal school, don't know the diagnosis. The last 2 years, he's been on the honor roll. Right, that literally is a game changer for him. So the products which we have with LifeVantage, the Protandem, the Axio, all the products are designed very differently than anything my dad and I created, because we're activating genetic pathways to optimize the cellular experience. And end result is you can live and function better than you thought you could. So that in of itself is a game changer for me. But on top of that, the business. At the same time, I was introduced to this through that little boy story. My dad and I had taught for this company for 3 years, and they let him go without notice. So the income went away overnight. About a month later, I ended up breaking my knee playing basketball. For the first time in my life, I thought, what if I couldn't practice? And so I started building the business, met Heather through this process, and she introduced me to Rochelle. And that's how this business grows. We share the story, we share the products, knowing full well that there are other kids out there like Luke, know that there's other kids out there like Heather's son, and many, many other people that have struggled, like Sabrina's son, that have struggled. They're looking for answers and they haven't found the traditional channels. And we have an opportunity to share that, and really a responsibility. At the same time, if you're looking for a way to earn extra income, I've not met hardly anybody that would struggle financially, right? They're looking for other ways to generate revenue away from their traditional business, or just way they can kind of squeeze some extra things in, whether it's to pay for bills or to pay for vacation, or whether it's to literally, take their life back. And so the business works if you work it. We can do it from anywhere. So here I'm in Hawaii, right? Spending time with my family. I've been talking to people on and off while I've been here, so I'm at the beach half the time, right? Which is kind of funny. And then you're doing business. What other type of business would I do that where you can impact lives at the same time, schedule your life in such a way where you can put your business into it, versus what most of us do, we schedule our life around our businesses. And that's a unique thing that I can now make that decision, which I couldn't make 5 years ago. So I'm glad I could hop on a second. Sorry, I was a little late. I was trying to get some coverage. We were driving, but I heard you had a few awesome people on, and wanted at least to share my story. Let's connect with any of you guys. If you have some questions, we can answer, and then hopefully I'd love to hear your stories as you get on the products and watch the changes that happen, that will happen.